mean, it's always a yard sale when Curt Cruz is not here, I feel like, because my little audio, visual, technology knowledge is not good. It's not good. But you know what? We're going to muddle our way through.
Working your way through it.
Curt Cruz is on vacation today in Florida visiting his family with his wife, Dana. And I was supposed to have Cam, the bartender. We know Cam. We love him. He's our favorite bartender. But he has a bartender life. And getting up at 4:30 in the morning was not going to work. No. And so, thankfully...
Wait a second. I was up at...
Well,
not quite that.
Hot firefighter boyfriend, Pat, to the rescue. He just got off his 24-hour shift at the fire station, and you were up twice in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. and 5 a.m.
2 a.m. and 5, yeah.
But still being a trooper. So, hot firefighter boyfriend, Pat, otherwise known as Project Pat. Otherwise known as Papa Pat, because you're a new grandpa. And he's my loves. So, here we go with the Curt and Jen in the Morning podcast, co-hosted by Pat. Things that are coming up. Welcome. Things that are coming up. Things you shouldn't leave in your car when it's freezing. This is going to be a good conversation because you brought this up at the fire station before you left today, and people were like, "What?"
Yeah, when I read your notes this morning, it was like, "Oh, I have something too."
Attention, parents of young kids. Scientists have figured out a way for little kids to eat their vegetables. Do you buy off on it?
Well, I added a little something because it's not new news.
Okay.
I'll just let you know that.
Okay.
I'll bring it up when the time comes.
All right. We're going to tell you about the Blue Monday Challenge, which we talked about Blue Monday yesterday, and it involves not doing something for 30 days. Am I just going to give all the teases, honey, or do you want to say some of them?
Dead giveaways that someone is an only child.
This is pretty funny.
Yeah.
And it's kind of true, I think, some of it.
Yeah.
What crash courses would you take right now if given the opportunity? And... If you missed the Trump inauguration yesterday, we have the not so official rundown. We have the fun parts of it that it's worth knowing. All right, so here we go. All right. Oh, I did want to mention this. If you're into college football, I mean, UW was out of it, so that put me out. No one from Washington State was in the national championship game. But yesterday, the game was played. Ohio won its first national title since 2014.
Oh.
And they beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame,
I always say.
34-23. So
I think the guys were watching that yesterday when we were in and out with calls.
Good for Ohio,
I can't say I watched it.
Okay, that's all right. Did you watch the inauguration, though?
Part of it. Yeah. We saw part of it. We had to go out on a call. So
me too. And here's the thing. I don't care how you feel about Trump. That doesn't matter. Everyone has their own opinions. What I was so impressed by is just like the tradition of it all, the pomp and circumstance, the splendor of it all. Like, I just thought it was so cool to watch, like, the people in uniform, all of the military, the dignitaries. I just thought it was really cool. And I love all the outfits.
Yeah.
Did you have any impressions about it?
Well, the only thing was with Melania with her hat down to here.
We're going to talk about that, honey.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
I was like, who is that? And then they're like, that's Melania. I'm like, all you see is her jaw.
Well, here's the thing. I say that I'm all about the outfits, and I have been since I was a little girl. Like, I'm the little girl, and I know many of us women did this. In the fashion magazines, I'd always play with my sister, like, pick out the outfit that you would wear the most. And on red carpet events like the Oscars, I don't care about the ceremony itself. I care about the red carpet. So I was all about looking at the outfits. And there was a doozy. There was a couple doozies there. And that's what we're going to talk about. So, these are not like official. These things happened at the inauguration, but they're more of the fun things, not the official things. Like, Carrie Underwood ended up having to sing America the Beautiful. Did you see this?
I did not. I think I was out doing a root check.
So by the way, her white dress was very understated, but very beautiful. She walked out she didn't even have a stage, which is another story. She walked out and there was 2 minutes of silence, of awkward silence. She was waiting for her music to start. Did you see any of this?
I didn't see any of it. I heard about it.
She walked out and patiently waited. Everyone was kind of waiting. The music started like just a blip of it and then nothing. And she's like, okay, guys, everybody help me out here. And she starts singing a cappella and she freaking killed it.
Yeah, I heard she said something like, do you want me to just singing?
Well, I can sing it without the music. Yeah. I can sing it. I can do it. And she did it. And she, like I said, she killed it. But there is rumor that she had a hissy fit. either before, well, afterwards because the music didn't play. But she saved it. I mean, she did a great job a cappella. It was actually more powerful a cappella and seeing everybody else sing with her. But she was kind of pissy about like Lady Gaga and Beyonce.
Where did that report come from, though? I'm just kind of curious.
Well, I said rumor has it. Like, it's rumor. Because there was not a stage like Lady Gaga and Beyonce had when they sang the national anthem and other things. But the thing about this is it moved inside last minute because it was so freaking cold.
There was probably a huge stage outside.
Been, right?
You know, but you got to do what you got to do. There's only so much room.
Yeah, and we're going to spend a little time on this because this is what people are talking about. It's in all the headlines. It's, you know, just so you know, if you're going to work or having a conference call or something and people are talking about it, you're in the know. Trump did not put his hand on the Bible when he took his oath.
That's the first. I didn't notice, but that was the first thing my captain said right off the bat. He doesn't have his hand on the Bible.
So I guess what happened, and I did not watch the whole clip, but I did see him not have his hand on the Bible. Who's the Chief Justice Roberts really rushed things. Like Melania was not even over with the Bibles like when they started, I guess. You know what really? I mean? Like it was like everything was not like there wasn't any kind of pause where he could do that.
See, I came in probably halfway through his oath.
So everybody's talking about that he didn't put his hand on the Bible. And here's the other thing. There's no law requiring that a president has to do that has to swear on the Bible.
Yeah,
there is no law. It's just something that they do. They've done ever since George Washington took oath. It's tradition. Yeah. So people are freaking out about that. You mentioned Melania's hat.
Oh yeah, I just didn't know who it was, and to be honest, when they panned out, she was the only one out of everybody behind that was wearing a hat. Which that's nothing right or wrong about it, but I could not tell who it was because she had it so low, and when she tipped her head down, like I said, all I saw was this part of her jaw.
Well, and Trump couldn't give her a kiss when he went in for a kiss. The brim of the hat like hit him in the face. So
we've had that problem before.
We had to settle for an air kiss.
How do you do that?
Her outfit I thought was stunning. Like, okay, get rid of the hat. I thought her outfit was so she's always so classic. Like I think she really dresses nicely. But the hat, there's a bunch of memes on social media comparing it to the Hamburglar, the McDonald's Hamburglar. And I had to look it up. I'm like, yeah, I think I remember that. And it's
pretty much there. She's bringing it back.
The color.
It's been a while.
The color was off. But there's a lot of, they're calling him Trump's new army of Czech bros on hand to watch him be sworn in. Jeff Bezos, his fiance Lauren was there. Her cleavage was on full display. And they even caught Mark Zuckerberg like totally staring at her boobs. And I went to look to make sure it was true. And like he was like full on staring down her shirt. I'm like, freaking frack's sake,
that was
man.
Zuckerberg doing that?
Yes. Let's see what else. Elon Musk. Okay, did you see the Elon Musk thing?
No, I did not.
Did
you look it up and see?
I did. I watched it, and they're playing the clip like over and over. So he after the inauguration, he went to the Capital One Arena because that's where everyone went to watch because it got moved indoors, and so they said a few words. But after he was done, like he full on gave the Nazi salute.
I mean, straight out?
Like straight out. Yes.
Huh.
So I don't know. I'm like, you know what, Elon? You could have done something different there. Like, think through your moves.
It's Elon, though.
It is
Elon. I mean,
I know it.
It's Elon.
And then just to round things out, other celebrities that were attending were Joe Rogan, UFC boss Dana White, MMA star Conor McGregor, Jake and Logan Paul, Wayne Gretzky. There like lots of celebrities there.
I'm trying to think who Jake and Logan Paul were. They sound very familiar, but
they're the fighters. They're brothers and they're fighters.
I think I've seen interviews.
They're like wrestler, fighter, something like that. Yeah. And then the senator of Pennsylvania. You're more into politics than I am. Senator John Fetterman. You know
Fetterman.
Him?
Yeah, I know Fetterman. Yeah.
He showed up in shorts and a hoodie.
I know.
Shorts and a hoodie.
He has been that way from day one, it seems like.
And
I think they tried to, I don't know for sure if they got it passed, but they were talking about trying to pass a dress code.
They should. I mean, that's just, to me, that's just plain, be who you are, but we're at a big traditional ceremony. I think that there's a time and place for a hoodie and shorts, but dress up.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, he's fashion statement for him.
I guess. Okay, here
Maybe
I
it'll
am
start
with
another trend.
my music again, right? Here's some more music. We're transitioning to the
Yep.
Blue Monday Challenge.
I didn't know. No, I didn't
You didn't
know
know about
anything
this?
about that. No.
Okay, so Curt and I talked about this yesterday. Blue Monday was it was yesterday, and it's supposedly the most depressing day of the year. It has
Why?
to do with it being, like less daylight. It's like you're far enough into the year where things start falling off the.
Didn't we already flip to where we have more day, or is it that was yesterday the least amount of daylight
I
we
just
had?
read that and I forgot to put that in here. I think today is the day where things start turning around.
Where we start
this is
gaining?
on the East Coast. I didn't look up. Hold on, bear with me.
Uh-oh.
I want to look up sunset for today.
Fact-checking here.
Fact checking. Okay, yeah. So on the East Coast, the last 5 o'clock sunset happened, and now it starts getting.
Where it's going to be later sunset.
Yes, here we're not there yet. We're at a 4:51 sunset. So the tides are turning for brighter, lighter days
Thank
and longer
goodness.
days, right? But yesterday was not that. And so in response to that, there was a positivity campaign that was launched in the Netherlands to not complain for 30 days. That's the challenge. The person who came up with the idea says it's a way to shift your perspective from all the whining and moaning and negativity that kind of comes with this time of the year, because people are kind of feeling like, ugh.
Can I complain that they made it 30 days?
No. I mean, I guess you can, but you've already failed the 30-day challenge then.
Well, yeah. I think a lot of people do.
It's just being mindful about how much you might be complaining
Start
during this
small.
time of the year.
Small.
Okay, start with the day. Work into 30
Work
days.
into 30
I don't
days.
know.
A day, a week.
Just find things that you can be positive about. There's joy out there. I mean, sometimes on some days you have to look harder than others to find the joy, but
yeah.
it is there and you can find it. And I thought this was right up my alley. Try not to complain. And can we just mention, for those watching on YouTube, Pat has this mug that when you lift it up, I think it's one of Jackie's mugs. It's a mustache. Like when you lift it up, it's a mustache on his face, and it's so cute. Okay, moving on to other things. And of course, honey, this is me, my music. I'm gonna get better at this by tomorrow.
Well, you were just looking something up too, so.
That's true. Okay, this caused a lot of conversation at the fire station because
Yes.
I put notes together for Pat because I'm like, honey, thanks for stepping in last minute to fill in. Here's some notes of things that we're going to talk about, and you are such a great guy. You did all your homework and read through the stuff, and
Read through all the
and
stuff.
then you
I had
started
time.
talking about
Luckily,
it.
I had time. Yeah, and I
Because you were
brought
up
it
at
up.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Well, no, I went back to bed.
Okay.
But yeah, so things you shouldn't leave in your car when it's below freezing. So when I read that, I'm thinking to myself, oh, I have something in my car that shouldn't be in there. It's an espresso machine of all things, but something I need to repair, and got it from my my son, and it's been sitting in the back of my car for lack of
No space.
no space.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, maybe I'd have time somewhere, when
Yes.
I'm not home.
Right.
Anyway, bottom line is it has water in it, and it probably has areas in it that if it freezes and it expands, it will probably break something.
Just like our pipes.
Yes. And so as soon as I read this, I went, oh, I have something in there. So then I was talking to one of, in fact, the firefighter who relieves me, and I was telling him the story, and he's like, oh, I have a gallon jug of water that I use for when I work out.
It's probably busted at the
And he
seams.
says, that's in there. And so it's like one of those things you don't think about until somebody says something, and you go,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that's me.
What? Here are things that you should not leave in your car when it's below freezing. What's the first one, Pat?
The aerosol cans, because they can explode if they get cold.
So this is
I did not know aerosol would do that.
lessons in chemistry is what this is, I feel like. Because there's like particles and things in there that get expelled, right? So I would imagine that when it gets cold,
Well, I think of
those
the
freeze and
liquid.
expand.
Well, I think of the liquid expanding.
All of it. It's all the things, right? It's the pressure in the can. There has to be pressure in the can to spray it out.
Yeah, the aerosol itself. I don't know the chemistry of aerosol, whether
Maybe
it gets
not,
cold,
okay.
whether it expands, but definitely any liquid that's in there, paint or
Will
otherwise.
expand. And the pressure, right? Well, doesn't it? Okay.
Well,
Well,
it is
anyway.
under pressure already.
Don't put
So there's not a lot
aerosol
of
cans,
room.
don't leave them in your car. And I had a little story about this. Riley's birthday was on Sunday and it was freezing cold, and I picked her up in the morning and I brought her, I had a 2 and a 1 balloon, and I brought it outside, and I wanted to get a picture of her right when she came out with her balloons. And the 2 was like shriveling up. And so I got the little straw and I blew it up. Well, I forgot to deflate it when I put it in the car, which was very warm, and it popped. So I went to the dollar store and bought another one.
Those don't expand. What do they call it? The
Mylar?
Mylar.
Mylar.
The Mylar.
Yeah.
No flex in that.
All right, other things that you should not keep in your car when it's freezing temperatures or below freezing. Canned food. We talked about this. The food inside expands and causes tiny cracks, and bacteria gets in. And so when food swells, even the USDA says, get rid of it. Eggs, don't leave them in the car after you get groceries.
They
freeze.
get messy.
They're not safe to eat.
Oh, they're not safe?
Well, because they crack. If they freeze,
crack.
the shells crack, and then they're not safe to eat.
If you ate them like right away before they...
Yeah, if you came in and made scrambled eggs right away, then you can do that. Electronics.
I didn't know this, like phones and computers and tablets.
Condensation from inside the device when it warms back up makes it short out.
Oh, I did not know that.
Because everything gets...
Oh, I know condensation, with the house.
Yeah. Medication. Some meds like insulin become unstable if they get too cold. So, and when in doubt, throw it out. And then don't leave your loved ones. That was on the list too. But people forget about that. Pets.
They remember hot weather, right?
They remember. Hopefully they remember.
I guess
hot
if
weather.
the car's running, but then you got to be careful that you don't have carbon monoxide.
Kids, pets, seniors are vulnerable to cold weather. So there you go. That's your little public service announcement to remember what not to keep in the car because it's cold across the nation. Like it's cold here for us. It's like in the 20s, and that's real cold for the Pacific Northwest.
Definitely.
All right, the podcast question of the day that we asked yesterday, the Curt and Jen podcast question of the day was, if you could take a crash course in something right now, what would it be?
I said guitar.
Because you want to learn to play an instrument.
Yeah, I've always liked to. I have a musical ear and stuff, and I've done things that are like on piano, keyboard by ear. Don't know how to read music, but
okay.
But I've always wished I could play better.
You're not alone there. There's other people that sing guitar. I don't want to take the time,
so that's.
You don't have the time, honey. You're trying to remodel a house, build a house, do all the building things. Okay, here's what people said. Anne Marie said sewing. I like that. I think I would like to be better at sewing. Jay, being the funny guy that he is, said napping. I don't need a crash course in napping. I took like a 2.5 hour nap yesterday. Yeah. I like this one. Marilyn said a crash course in forgiveness.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty important. Amanda, audio production and tour management.
Okay.
You want to read some of these?
What's that?
Immigration. I looked that up. Andrea said immigration, and I looked it up because I'm like,
I didn't look it up.
I know immigration. She's looking up what you need to do to move to a different country.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure that was politically driven there, maybe.
Yes, maybe. You think?
Yeah.
Spanish and Portuguese?
Yeah, Spanish and Portuguese. Okay. That's what Russ wants to do. I hope he has a trip planned to Spain or Portugal.
Yeah, that would be funny because we just had a little thing for we play little games at night, and and I don't even remember what it was, but it was like Spanish for something, and
like,
even Google got it wrong.
Yeah, they
and
couldn't
it's like,
come up with it.
What the heck? So it'd be interesting, Spanish Portuguese, if one of those would have come up right, other than Spanish, because
that's true.
Anyway, side note.
Ken said typing. Here's the other people that are going to be taking a crash course in guitar with you. Carrie, Ann, and Bree. All going to take guitar.
It's funny. A lot of people like the idea of playing a guitar, I think.
But you don't take the time to do it.
Well, I don't want to take the time to do it.
You don't?
Well, I mean, I
maybe when you're done with the house.
I have way too many things that I do that are outside versus sitting inside and doing that. So, but I love the idea that I wish I could just pick up the guitar and start strumming away. Because I love that. This
made me think I would choose this.
This is smart.
Jennifer said trading stocks.
Yeah, I mean this is smart because if you really get good at trading stocks, you could do pretty much anything because then you'd have the time
and the money.
Although people who trade stocks probably would say they spend a lot of time doing it because there's a lot of research. And I've messed with it a little bit, but I never really got into it. I thought about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time.
I liked that answer a lot, though, Jennifer.
Making money with your time.
My answer was AI. I would do a crash course in how to use the different types of AI that's out there to make my work and my life more efficient. Just like ways you can incorporate AI safely.
Yeah, I was going to say safely.
Right. Nancy said landscaping care. That's also a good one.
Yeah. Trivia, if there's such a if
Such a course. Laura wants to be better at trivia, is what she's saying. Ah.
And Corey, violin lessons.
Yeah. Barb said dating. And
Randy, of course.
Randy with the win.
Way to go, Randy. That's a good one.
What would you take a crash course in if you could right this minute? And Randy said,
maybe in a Volvo. Because they are supposed to do well in crashes, right? And that's very true. And I read that and started laughing because
Me too.
Randy nailed it again.
Randy with the dad joke
Nice
for the
job,
win.
Randy.
That was awesome. We still have that up on the Curt and Jen in the Morning Facebook page. So if you want to answer that, we'd love to hear your answer. We're going to have a new question at the end of the show that you can weigh in on as well. Okay. Scientists have found a new trick to make little kids eat their vegetables.
Snack hack.
It's a snack hack. That's right. Tell everybody the scientific findings.
So a new study found that kids will eat more vegetables if they think it gives them some sort of superpower.
Yeah.
And this is where I added a little bit because way back when, it's been a long time. Popeye's been around for a long time, but what did he eat? He ate spinach, which as a kid, even I'll eat spinach now.
Yes.
But that canned spinach, I still don't like that.
That's so barfy.
But it seems like that's all they had way back when.
Yes.
Because they'd preserve it or whatever.
Yep.
And how do you get kids to eat that? Because I know when I was a kid, I did not like canned spinach at all.
So but you saw Popeye and Popeye didn't
as soon as he downed a can, boom, muscles came out.
I know, but that didn't what am I trying to say? Inspire you to eat the spinach?
I thought about it. I maybe tried it because of that, but it doesn't mean I had to like it.
Oh, honey. Okay, well, so researchers in Germany spent 20 minutes reading kids' fairy tales that involved magical fruits and veggies. The hero was either healed or saved by eating them. So after the story was done, they offered the kids a choice of 4 different snacks: fruit, vegetables, cake, or cookies. It turned out it made them more likely choose the healthier option, and not just after hearing the story, it had a lasting effect. So 80% of the kids that they studied were still eating more fruits and veggies weeks later.
Well, yeah, I mean, it shows you how
the power of a story.
The power of suggestion of teaching kids and what we're teaching our kids now, how much it carries on.
Yeah, I like
that. Regardless of what it is.
Yeah, I like it. I like that whole situation there. I guess I just played that one. I can't keep, I'm trying playing another one. Please hold. There we go. Because this goes with Contagious Peeing.
Yeah, like I need it.
I totally thought of you when I saw this story.
I know, I totally thought of myself too, so.
They're saying that contagious peeing might be an evolutionary thing. And so they were asking in the story, like, does just hearing it make you want to go pee?
For me, no. It's not hearing it.
Okay, it's not about hearing it.
I have proximity.
So when you get close to a toilet, it's like, all right, I have to pee right now.
I mean, literally a mile away from my destination, it's like, oh, it's getting stronger.
All right, so when someone says they need to use the bathroom, does it ever make you have to go? It's a new study on contagious urination, and they're finding that you can thank evolution for that. Now, I don't really get this, but I had to bring it up because of the whole, contagious peeing. I thought that was fun. Researchers in Japan noticed chimpanzees do this too. If one chimp pees, the other ones nearby are more likely to go in quick succession. They watched 20 chimps for more than 600 hours at a zoo.
See, and that's the other thing I took away from this is who wants to turn around and watch chimps for 600 hours? I don't know what their little stent was per person,
I don't know. They tracked how often they peed.
I wouldn't see them. I'd fall asleep.
They'd pee. I like watching chimpanzees. But not for 600
for 10 minutes,
hours.
Maybe?
They peed within 60 seconds of each other, and it turned out that it happened a lot, and the social rank made a difference. They were even more likely to follow suit after a dominant chimp in the group peed. Their 2 main theories are all collective urine might help keep predators away, or it could just be a bonding thing. They compared it how people, especially women, go to the bathroom together many times.
I feel like that first theory will lead into another study. Will collective urine keep predators away? That might be another study, though.
I bet it. I wonder,
They got to prove their theory.
They have to. All right, if you're an only child, this isn't trying to diss you. It's just that we're noticing things that might be dead giveaways that you are an only child. So there's people on Reddit that are talking about this. There's dead giveaways that someone grew up as an only child. And clearly these people that are responding know their stuff, because I was reading this and I'm like, oh yeah, this tracks. So here are some of the highlights that people were saying. And this first one I was like, yep, I do this.
They cut a cut a piece of cake in two and can't immediately tell which one is bigger.
Like if you have a sibling, I have a sister, and if something was cut in half, I could spot the bigger one and I'd take it. Did you not do that with your brother Brian?
I don't remember like specifically being.
I noticed
taking
the bigger
one. I don't know.
But now then they came up with that whole rule. You cut it. I forget what it is. Like you cut it, they pick it. Like if you cut, the rule was like if you cut
I
it.
didn't know that rule.
But then the sibling that didn't cut gets to pick what side they want.
I think most of the time, it depends on our age, but I think most of the time my mom would serve up, and the current size is big no matter what when it comes to dessert or food or anything. So my mom would cut up big pieces and put them in a bowl, and we just took them. We didn't compare.
Yeah. I will serve Pat ice cream sometimes, and one of the first times I did, he's like, I need bigger. That's not an ice cream bowl. That's not an ice cream bowl, honey.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't grow up. I mean, even my later years, my ice cream bowl was a serving bowl. So when I was younger and could eat all that and not gain weight.
This resonates for all of us. Yes. All right. Other things that only children do that are clear giveaways that they grew up as an only child. So the first one was if they cut a piece of cake in two, they can't immediately tell which one is bigger, where people with siblings can. They're great with people's parents because they grew up chatting with adults.
That makes sense.
Yep. They struggle with conflict. People with siblings know better how to negotiate, share, and when to pick your battles.
Well, and I think that kind of links to the chatting with adults. You can have a conversation with adults, but sometimes they have a harder time dealing with their same
age.
because
they don't have anybody.
They're technically chatting with adults. You're going to be a little bit more mature than if you were chatting with only the younger kids more often, I think.
Yeah. Do you want to read some of these?
Where is it? They leave their Halloween candy in the kitchen.
Because there's no one to steal it.
Oh.
I mean, if I left my Halloween candy in the kitchen, my sister would certainly take some of it. All the pieces, all the good candy that she wanted.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't think Brian would?
Well, I don't remember. No, I don't. I didn't remember that.
They get unreasonably angry about group punishments. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. Why me? Where people with siblings are more nonchalant about it. Like, great.
I remember this.
Someone said their roughhousing skills are below par. So someone that commented on Reddit under this prompt said,
I can see that.
Yeah, because they don't have anyone to like beat them up on a daily basis.
Yeah, right. I mean, unless they go into wrestling or boxing or something.
They're more content with being alone for extended periods of time.
Yeah, I could see that.
And they're more independent. Here's the thing. This was interesting. They're more independent and can do jobs that should take 2 or 3 people by themselves. So they can do that by themselves. But without having constant competition, they're likely doing it a lot slower than most people who grew up with siblings.
Yeah, because they had the time to...
They just, I mean, I was always in competition. I know you probably find this very surprising, but
way.
I'm like, I'm going to win. I'm going to do this faster. I can do this.
Yeah, no, never, no.
And they talk to themselves a lot.
Really?
Well, I mean, that's what they say. That was
an
the
only
prompt.
child, but I talk
This
to
is
myself
not
sometimes.
scientifically based. This is not scientifically based. It's just what people on Reddit said. So, I mean, if Reddit said it, it's gotta be real.
Be true, right?
But I thought that those were fun, playful things that, birth order. Okay, I added this one last thing in for the podcast because I saw it on social media this morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, this really resonates with me. It is things you should get rid of in 2025. And I know at the beginning of the year, there's a lot of people that like to declutter their lives. They're like, okay, fresh start, we're getting rid of stuff. But I keep hearing people say about decluttering, and I just feel like this is going to be the year of declutter. And I would like to make that so for me. But here's the things that they said that you should get rid of in 2025 to declutter your life. Clothes you have not worn in a year and shoes that hurt your feet.
I could do that.
I have a hard time with that. Because the clothes, I'm like, oh, but what if? I have a lot of like, but what ifs that I talk myself into.
My problem with the clothes is if I did that, I'd empty like 3/4 of my closet and I'd wonder what to wear, and I'd probably be wearing the same things over and over and over and over.
Which you do anyway, right?
Which I do anyway, but it seems like I have more choices.
Variety. Variety is the spice of life when it comes to a wardrobe. And shoes that hurt your feet. Sometimes cute shoes hurt your feet. And usually when you're wearing really cute shoes, it's because you're going to a special occasion and you don't have to wear them for a long time.
I don't have cute shoes.
Girls do.
Girls do.
Expired makeup and skincare. Be sure to check those expiration dates.
That's right.
Outdated magazines and books you'll never reread. This is a good one. Worn out towels and sheets. We just had this conversation, right? I mean, we bought these new sheets at Costco, which I should tell you about. I cannot remember the name of them, but they're a special roadshow sheet. They are a bit on the expensive side, but they are worth it. I'm telling you what. It is one of my new favorite things.
Although we are wondering about the stretchiness of it. They tend to stretch a little bit.
I still love them. They're still
they're very soft.
So yummy to get into. Worn out towels and sheets. It's kind of like we need some extra sheets and towels just in case. But I'm never going to use any other sheets besides the one that's on the bed right now. Like, I love them so much.
Yeah, and you have 2 now, so you rotate, wash.
Anyway, those are ways that you can declutter. Apps you've never opened, get those off your phone. Subscriptions you don't need.
That.
You did?
I started going through the apps and going, what's that for? I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
app.
you're decluttering your phone. It
and
makes
some
a
of them,
difference.
one of them, I ended up having to buy a new tool because my little app for my camera that I can put into like tight places, it just stopped working. I went to use it and no.
So deleting apps is costing you money?
Well, it did on that one. Although I wasn't deleting at the time, but that made me think and start deleting because I'm like, how many other apps aren't going to work? Because they're not supported anymore.
Well, so another good reason to clean up your phone.
Yep.
Okay, so subscriptions you don't need, and I also was going to say this because I didn't put it. All those junk emails. Try to unsubscribe to some of them to.
I've done. Yeah, that's tough too.
Make your email box less.
And even unsubscribing, they still keep sending them.
All right. The question of the day for today that we will put on Facebook on the Curt and Jen in the Morning Facebook page. What is it?
Question of the day. Where is it?
Right here.
Oh, I had to find it. How do you blow off steam?
How do you blow off steam? Like when you're all worked up, how do you blow off steam? I mean, you're going to co-host with me tomorrow, so we'll get your answer, but you could tell me one way.
I swear.
You do swear. I swear too.
I yell and swear, actually. Swear and yell.
Sleep for me is like if I'm all like worked up, a good night's sleep will bring a new day and I feel better.
Oh. But is that blowing off steam? That's just kind of resetting. I mean, do you do something immediately at the time? That's what
I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed right now.
Okay, so going to bed.
No, okay.
Because I immediately blow.
You do swear, but then you take a moment. What do you think I do?
You have your outburst. It's normally FFS.
Yeah. For F's sake.
Yes.
Is FFS.
And it depends on how much vigor she says it with, on how pissed she is.
Do I get pissed very often? I don't think I get pissed
but there
often,
are things that frustrate you.
Yeah, there
more.
are. You're right.
So.
Okay. So you swear, I swear. We all swear.
Well, and I think there's a study out there that says swearing is good.
And smart people swear. There's a study about that too.
Jeez,
we're so smart.
Yeah.
We are so smart. So that's your question of the day that we will post. How do you blow off steam? We are excited for your answers. We will talk about them tomorrow. Thank you for letting us be part of your day. Thank you, Pat, for co-hosting with me. I love you so much. Have a great day. Make good choices. Find joy. Spread kindness. Have a good one.